Good evening, everyone. This is the Oceania 10 p.m. news. I'm your host, Sheepdog Smokey. Students, alumni at university want Pence's commencement invite pulled, say his views are unchristian. A group of students and alumni from Taylor University in Northeast Indiana have started a petition to oppose Vice President Mike Pence speaking at the Christian school's graduation next month. The Change.org petition, which appears to be open for anyone to sign, has garnered approximately 4,000 signatures. Here's just a bit of an observation. Why is it open to anyone if this is supposed to be representing that the students and alumni don't want him? Inviting Vice President Pence to Taylor University and giving him a coveted platform for his political views makes our alumni, faculty, staff, and current students complicit in the Trump-Pence administration's policies, which we believe are not consistent with the Christian ethic of love we hold dear, the petition reads in part. Alex Huckstra, a 2007 Taylor graduate, launched the drive for signatures last week after Taylor announced the former Indiana governor was the invited speaker. Huckstra encouraged people signing the petition to write an accompanying comment identifying themselves as alumni. Note your graduation year. Faculty, staff, parent, current student, a member of the Taylor family, or simply an ally letting the Taylor administration know how you feel. The petition calls for Pence's invitation to be rescinded. Amy Peterson, an adjunct professor at Taylor, wrote an op-ed for the Washington Post explaining why she and others affiliated with the university are upset. The selection of Pence, a former Indiana governor, as the May 18 commencement speaker is deeply disappointing for me and for many of the faculty. It reflects a failure of the university's leadership to live up to its mission, she wrote. The mission, the professor noted, is to minister Christ's redemptive love and truth in a world in need. According to Peterson, a vote among the faculty found that 49 professors supported Pence coming to the school, while 61 opposed. Professor Peterson, I've said this to many people. Please publish your demographics and methodology for this poll. Please publish all questions as they were asked, because I've found in the last several years I don't trust any poll that is just told I'm just told what the results are. She recounted that one young sophomore woman texted her, "I've been shaking all morning." Peterson suggested it would have been better if the school had invited former President Barack Obama because it sent a message of reconciliation. By contrast, honoring the vice president makes it difficult to faithfully work through divisive political issues such as racism, immigration policy, and sexual ethics. Let's see, a man who's never been accused of racism, a man who wants to enforce United States law and basically telling people come to the door and knock, and a woman who has never had a sexual assault complaint against him, or a man, sorry. Inviting Pence reinforces the creeping conflation of evangelical with Republican, Peterson argued. Kevin Holtzberry, a Taylor alumni, told Fox News on Monday he is pleased with the university by sticking to its decision to invite the vice president. I was very nervous initially that the very vocal, overwhelming minority might sort of sway Taylor to make a different stance, so I'm glad they're taking that solid stance, Holtzberry said. The vice president has very orthodox Christian beliefs, very traditional beliefs, that a vast majority of Christians believe, he added. His political views are shared by a large section of America, so it's not a radical choice. And I think people should be able to engage and disagree with his views and do it in a mature fashion. Thank you so much for saying that. You're in a minority who believe that, because according to that young sophomore who was shaking all morning, that's not allowed. Views that offend her or trigger her are to be quashed immediately. Taylor University issued a statement in response to the opposition to Pence's participation in graduation. Since making the announcement of Vice President Mike Pence's upcoming commencement speech, we have received feedback from people on either side of the issue. Taylor University is an intentional Christian community that strives to encourage positive, respectful, and meaningful dialogue, Taylor University spokesman James Geringer said in a statement. We look forward to hosting the Vice President next month. During the course of the 2016 presidential campaign and since, Pence has described himself as a Christian, a conservative, and a Republican in that order. Pence's faith was in the news last week when Democratic presidential hopeful Pete Buttigieg criticized the vice president's belief that marriage is between a man and woman. It's in the Bible, Pete. This definition is inconsistent with how Jesus Christ defined marriage in the Bible. we're actually going to click on that link, and we're going to go to that when we're done. So we'll open that tab and wait. If me being gay was a choice, it was made far, far above my pay grade, Buttigieg said at an event hosted by the LGBTQ Victory Fund, according to The Hill. That's the thing I wish the Mike Pences of the world would understand. That if you have a problem with who I am, your problem is not with me. Your quarrel, sir, is with my creator. My marriage to Chasten has made me a better man. And yes, Mr. Vice President, it has moved me closer to God. He added, prompting applause. Mayor Buttigieg, have you read the Bible? A man shall leave his mother, and a woman leave her home. They shall travel on together as the two become one. Literally there, that a man and a woman. But let's take it a step further and go to something liberals love to talk about: science. Without any external help, no doctors, no fertility clinics, nothing, can two men or two women conceive a child? The simple answer is no, they cannot. You see, science has taught me that it takes a human male and a human female to engage in sexual intercourse so that spermatozoa then fertilizes the woman's egg in her uterus. That egg, if viable, will attach to the uterine wall and will begin to grow and divide and ultimately grow and divide and form into a human baby. Two men cannot do that without a human female who was born a human female in the equation. Two women cannot without someone who was born a human male. Pence has not raised the issue of Buttigieg identifying as a gay man and argued the mayor of South Bend is simply trying to raise his political profile. He said some things that are critical of my Christian faith and about me personally, and he knows me better. He knows me, Pence told CNBC last week. But I get it. Look again. 19 people running for president on that side in a party that's sliding off to the left, and they're all competing for one another for how much more liberal they are. The Associated Press reported during the 4 years in which they overlapped in Indiana politics, Buttigieg, the South Bend mayor, had a cordial relationship with Pence. The two collaborated on economic development issues. Buttigieg presented Pence with a South Bend promotional T-shirt that said, "I heart SB." And at ceremonial events, Pence would lavish Buttigieg with praise. Now let's look here. And he answered and said unto them, have you not read that he who made them at the beginning made them male and female, and said, for this reason a man shall leave his father and mother, and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So then they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore what God has joined together, let no man separate. Thank you, Mayor Buttigieg. Because right here is what I paraphrased. For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother, and be joined to his wife. You literally call Chasten your husband. You are saying that you are married to a man. You do not have a wife. This is Matthew 19:4-6 from the King James Version, New King James. But it literally contradicts what you say. So, to twist the words of Christ, that's blasphemy, Pete. That's a big one. You might want to repent about that. And if you have grown closer to God, you might want to talk to him a little bit. You might want to listen for his voice a little bit. Because I can tell you, you have this entirely wrong. The passage you say is what Christ describes as marriage is quite literally a man and a woman. One man and one woman who leave their mother and father and are joined as one. They become one flesh, man and wife. I do so love it when people try to quote the Bible and do so in such a very wrong way that it makes it easy for me to use the exact quote they give to prove them wrong. And I have studied the Bible for more than 30 years, and I have people that I trust immensely who have studied it for much longer. And I've read the book of Matthew many times in many Bible studies, and that has come up many times in those Bible studies. And every time it's been interpreted the way I just did, that a man and woman leave their families and homes and become one. Not a man and the man he is attracted to. Not a woman and her wife, but a man and a woman. But back to this. Pence has earned the ire of the press because he will not be alone with a woman who is not his wife. He did not say he will not talk one on one. He said he will not be alone with one. He does not go to dinner with women who are not his wife. And it's very easy to see why, especially in the wake of the Me Too movement. Since Mike Pence has not been alone in a room with a woman who is not his wife, no one can say he assaulted me. Since he does not take women who are not his wife to dinner, no one can snap a picture of him and say, look, he's cheating on his wife. Mike Pence respects his wife so much that he doesn't even want her to have the question, even though he probably knows that she trusts him enough to know, even if every news outlet is screaming it, that's not what it is. Mike Pence is a good man. And the fact that the media hate him so vilely is proof that he is a good man, because the media has become the entity of obey us, bigot, or you will be destroyed. But I've talked about this long enough. Let me know what you think. Keep the comments civil, because we only learn from debate, not argument. Make sure to also like and share the video, and please do subscribe and turn notifications on so that you are kept abreast of all new content as it posts. In one aside, it is spring in Texas. You can hear from my voice there's a little scratch every now and then. Unfortunately, I am one of the millions of Texans who suffers from seasonal allergies. For those who know the jokes about Texas, seasons happen multiple times a day. Unfortunately, with this change from cool to warm, where we get both in a day, and so much of this junk is in the air, there is going to be a day, possibly two, in the very near future where I will lose my voice. As I call it, I have my Batman voice. And I am not Christian Bale. Not, don't look like him, don't sound like him. So there's probably going to be a day or two in the not so distant future where I won't be around. I'm hoping I can come up with a few things that I could post on those days and hold back that are not time sensitive, but we'll see what happens. In the meantime, like I said, make sure to like and share, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you're kept up to date on everything as it posts. Until the next time, everyone have a wonderful day.